motivation.
Hey all, hey y'all. Hey all, hey y'all. Welcome to another installment of Kingdom Things Podcast. My name is Ashley Nicole Phillips. I am the biblically prophesied Messiah. Alert, alert, so are you. One of the biggest messages that I am here to proliferate within this reality is the understanding that all is one. What I have in me, you have in you. What you have in you, I have in me. Within the Kingdom Things Podcast, I channel energies and messages, publish the channeled energies and messages from my Akashic record or my soul's knowing in order to assist with the upliftment of the human consciousness. Whatever material you find in the Kingdom Things Podcast, whatever doesn't resonate within your heart space, leave it. Whatever does resonate within your heart space, you're more than welcome to align with those energies and messages along your own journey of expansion and self-realization. As ourselves project our reality, as we come into higher conscious awareness of who we are, discover new levels of who we are, we're able to unlock doors, garner keys to unlock doors in order to access new energies, new thought patterns, new dimensions to project into our reality, to create new experiences within our reality, or infinite potentials, infinite possibilities. Also, any material that you find within Kingdom Things Podcast is not intended to substitute any medical advice. If you have any medical emergencies, please consult your physicians or dial 911. Again, any content that you find within the Kingdom Things Podcast is not to substitute any professional medical advice. I'm super excited about today's Kingdom Things Podcast installment. We're going to go there. We're going to talk about reptilians. I'm going to tell y'all, I've been ducking and dodging reptilians. For a while. Energetically, I just did not feel compelled to learn or inquire about reptilians. Now I know why. Everyone's journey is super unique. My own spiritual awakening journey is my own, just as your own spiritual awakening journey is your own. So the information that we come across in our lifetime, nothing is a coincidence. It's all intended to assist us with molding us into who we intended to be in every moment on a soul level or on a God level, on a higher conscious awareness level of what creation is, who we are. So reptilians, I didn't feel compelled. I actually felt repelled away from reptilian information. If you don't know what a reptilian is, I'm not an expert, but I'm going to tell you my experience with reptilians. So reptilians are considered to be like lizard people, or beings that we would perceive as like amphibians. So like scaly beings, amphibians, snakes, lizards. We would perceive them as like reptiles, crocodiles. When we see them, we would think, oh, crocodile, dinosaur, snake, that's how we would perceive these beings, right? And I say we would perceive the beings because the human consciousness, we have a construct of what reality is. We have a construct on how we perceive reality, humanity as a whole. We have a construct of how we perceive reality. Part of my intentions for Kingdom Things Podcast is to assist you and every individual with going inwardly to unlock keys, doors, and extrasensory perceptions from your soul, garner from your soul, you garner from your soul in order to perceive reality the way in which you were intended to perceive in your authenticity versus just the human consciousness perception of what is reality, who are you, right? So, because what we tend to do is we tend to fall into these molds, preconceived understandings of what reality is, who you are based on mental patterns and constructs from our past humanism understanding of reality. So you're black or you're a woman, you're this age, this is how you should be. Statistics say this is how you probably are. This is who you probably are. Instead of falling into those mental, energetic entrapments of who you are, it's about going inwardly to raise our vibration and come into higher intuitive alignment, higher God Goddess alignment, higher conscious awareness of our soul level truths or our infinite potentials. So Today, we are going to be talking about the reptilians, which I'm super excited because of the message that I'm here to deliver. So the reptilians, okay. I'm going to go in a little bit, a synopsis of like humans, conscious awareness in general of like reptilians and our dualistic perception of reality. Humanity up to this point in general, we have a dualistic perception of reality, or a polarized perception of reality, where we see the opposite ends of any spectrum as dueling, or anyone that doesn't share your same perception or same agreement or same ideology of anything, on any topic. We polarize away from them, those people, and we fight or flight. We fight them, we argue with them, we argue them down, or we run away from them, is a common old humanistic trait within the whole old humanism of planet Earth. Why, Ashley? This fight or flight mentality is a very low frequency way of being, way of dealing with conflict, way of dealing with differences. Because a conflict is only a conflict due to your perception of differences. Conflicting information, like we say, conflicting information, or it can be information of varied dimensions that have a different perception or vantage point on the same object. Like if you have an object and you have a camera over here, the camera over here has if the camera over here, if we wrote out a description of what we're looking at, this object, the object, using this camera, using the description from the vantage point of the camera over here, you're going to have a different perception and wording and vantage point with looking at the same object from the camera over here. And we would call that conflicting information. Or it's a perception from different dimensions and aspects of the same reality. So fight or flight mentality, or arguing people down, fighting with people that don't share the same view or vantage point of the same reality, is a very low consciousness, very low vibrational way of dealing with or perceiving reality, perceiving differences. In this perception, I'm not going to blame it all on the reptilians, fight or flight on the reptilians, because this is the creation of the human being of planet Earth. Lemuria, back in Lemuria, which is an ancient civilization. We may call it folklore or mysticism or a fable, but a lot of the folklore, mysticism, fables that are on our planet are actuality. They're just different dimensions and perceptions of reality. Lemuria is an ancient high consciousness civilization that was seated in part by the Pleiadians of the Pleiades. The Pleiadians are what we would call aliens, or extra-dimensional, extraterrestrial beings that have a higher consciousness. So angels are beings of higher consciousness, so they contain more light. And more light is more God essence. The more God essence you have, the more possibilities that you embody, that you're able to create. So how are these beings able to teleport? How are these beings able to appear in apparition form? Because they embody more light. So they are capable of more possibilities, or they can garner more energies from creation from their Merkabas. I don't know if they would call it Merkaba, but we call it like our Merkaba. They're able to garner more energies from their Merkaba in order to present and be in reality in different forms. We would call it teleportation, telekinesis, showing up in apparition form would be extrasensory perception, or extra-dimensional perception, extra-dimensional abilities, which are God. So these angels that we perceive in our reality, they are higher dimensional beings. Pleiadians being one of the higher dimensional beings in which assisted with cultivating the civilization of Lemuria. The Pleiadians did leave after a couple of generations. The Pleiadians left back to their planet for humanity of Lemuria to begin to cultivate, create their own society, our own society. And as we did this, we decided not to follow our intuitive guidance or our inner compass or our heart space. And when we did this, we created energetic patterns that gave way to fear, that gave way to fight or flight mentality, that gave way to what we call karmic energies. And this is one storyline, one timeline of a plethora of timelines that mirror the Garden of Eden story. So Lemuria, Pleiadians and Lemuria and other extraterrestrial beings assisted with the cultivation of Lemuria, such as the Lyrians, Arcturians, and Lemuria, and many others. And Lemuria, there have been many civilizations on our planet that have been cultivated by angelic beings or extraterrestrial beings, extra-dimensional beings. And these civilizations are still present today. They're us. They are us. But we sink into density or consciousness, awareness of self, when we stop following our inner compass in the past. We stopped following our inner compass in the past, which gave way to creating energetic patterns, karmic patterns, old karmic patterns of humanism, low consciousness understanding of reality, which gave way to amnesia. So we forgot that we're angelic beings. We forgot that we're extra-dimensional beings. We forgot that we're powerful beings on a planet within or a realm within the creation called God, or the oneness of all things. And when we did this, when we stopped following our heart space within Lemuria and the many other civilizations on our planet that were of higher conscious awareness of self, we call these higher dimensional, the first, second, and third heaven that you may hear about in spirituality or just in general. They're higher dimensional realities of creation on planet Earth. So the first, second, and third heaven, they exist. That's where you'll find civilizations like Lemuria, like Atlantis, Lemuria and Atlantis, and many others. That's where like rishis and sages of our considered past ravine within our dimensionality of dwelling as the human planet Earth. We perceive time, right? We operate through time, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. We operate through time. I say there's nothing wrong with that because I have a thing with like, it's a humanism thing where we feel constricted by these paradigms that we created. So we created time. We created time within our human consciousness dwelling of reality. We operate through time. The rishis, great sages of our past, such as like Buddha, Jesus, Apollonius of Tyana, and many others, they dwell within the realms of third heaven, or they still exist. They're just in higher vibrational realities. We are coming into it. Let me go ahead and get into like the lower vibrational realities. So we have the first, second, and third heaven, where you'll find Lemuria, Atlantis, and civilizations of higher consciousness. And then you, like the Mayans. A lot of them transcended this planet and went to other planets and realms. And a lot of them exist like within the first, second, third realm of creation. So higher consciousness. So places that you can only perceive with a higher conscious awareness of yourself. When you have a higher conscious awareness of yourself, you have a higher conscious awareness of reality. Which brings us into the Kingdom Things podcast call to action. At least 30 consecutive minutes a day. Sit with yourself. We call it meditation, whatever you like to call it. Sit with yourself, peace and quiet, and just listen to your internal environment. Just let yourself be in order to come into greater alignment with your soul, greater alignment with your God, Goddess essence, greater alignment with the oneness of all things. In order to assist with co-creating this reality with more potency. As you come into greater alignment with your inner knowledge, your inner self, your inner voice, your intuition, your God, Goddess essence, the oneness of all things, you garner keys and potentials within yourself in order to mold yourself into greater versions of yourself, higher conscious awareness versions of yourself, in order to be a more potent force to co-create this reality. There are things that are in your reality that are in alignment with how you see fit for reality to operate, or your integrity or your moral values. Go within, sit with yourself 30 consecutive minutes a day in order to garner the keys within yourself to become a more potent co-creating force within this reality. if you are enjoying this content, second Kingdom Things call to action, subscribe to the Kingdom Things podcast channel here on YouTube, follow on Spotify if you're watching on Spotify, share, like the content in order to assist with the Kingdom Things podcast journey to a healed and balanced human culture of planet Earth. Now the lower, so we talked about the higher dimensional realities within planet Earth, the ecosystem of planet Earth, the realm of planet Earth. Let's talk about the lower dimensions, There are other dimensions, right? But this is what I'm being guided to share. In this moment, in this space is what I'm being guided to share. There are infinite dimensions. There are a plethora of dimensions. This is what I'm being guided to share. So this is in no way a strict interpretation of what is. It's just my Akashic, my soul's teachings that I've garnered and being guided to share at this moment. It's not a strict interpretation. Whatever resonates in your heart, you're more than welcome to align with that. Whatever doesn't, you can leave it. Again, it's not a strict interpretation. Reality is multifold and infinite and always shifting and changing. That's where growth and expansion comes in within ourselves. When we grow and expand with ourselves, it assists with the growth and expansion of all things. So again, this is not a strict interpretation. The first, second, third, and then the lower that I'm about to go into, it's really more analogous. It's really more analogous to assist us with visualizing and understanding, the expansiveness of creation and the different dimensions of reality. So we talked about the first, second, and third heaven, which again is all analogous. It's not like levels, and it's not numbered. It's analogous. Now let's talk about, it's more like it's a frequency. It's energetic frequencies. So it's more blurred lines, and it's more abstract than anything else. It's not linear. But again, it's just analogous to help us understand in our minds and ease us into widening our scope of what is reality. The question of what is reality. So we're going to go lower. So the lower dimensions, reptilians. I want to stop and say that every energy on this planet assists with the cultivation of how we operate, how every other being operates. So the beings in the higher heavens, the way they perceive reality, the way they operate is affected by how we perceive reality, how we operate, just as the beings in the denser realities co-create how we operate. We co-create how the beings in the denser realities operate. Every dimension and aspect of reality affects every other dimension and aspect of reality, how we show up, how we operate, how we perceive reality. So the reptilians, they reside in a denser, lower frequential dimensionality of reality on planet Earth, within the realm of planet Earth, right? And I've seen it. I astral traveled there. I was in my bathroom brushing my teeth. And it was so random. I was in my bathroom brushing my teeth. I will say that the reason why I didn't present as fearful, the biggest thing that I'm coming into greater alignment with within myself, and I'm helping to assist with humanity coming to greater alignment with this ideology that all is one. All is one. All is one. Principle of correspondence is a universal law brought to this realm of creation by Hermes Trismegistus. The principle of correspondence states, as below, so above. So the energies that we hold within project into our reality. Anything that we perceive in our reality is only a dimension of dimensionality or aspect that we hold within. It's only a part of ourselves, right? And this is the biggest ideology that assists with garnering the tools, the keys to co-create your reality at a more potent, more efficient, more pleasurable and playful way, with understanding that you're not a victim to any dimension in your reality, but you are the maker, creator, that dimension of creator of that dimension of reality. Anything that you're fearful of is only a projection of the energies that you embody, right? And this is where co-creation comes in. The energies in which we embody project into the reality. Humanism is the way that it is. Human culture is the way that it is because of every human being that's incarnated on this planet, because of all of our ancestors. No one is null of responsibility of of the creation of humanity as it is. Every dimension and aspect, you are responsible. You are a co-creator of this reality. If you don't like what you see, again, Kingdom Things Call to Action. Go within, sit with yourself 30 minutes a day to align with your internal intuition, your internal guidance, or God or Goddess or the oneness of all things, to come into higher skill, higher mastery of self in order to be able to heal yourself or acknowledge and accept the parts of yourself that created the dimensions and aspects of reality in which you perceive in your reality. And when we do this, we acknowledge and we accept. We get to make the choice of making we get to make choices to make different choices. If we just point at things external to ourselves, blame, shame, and we're fearful of it, what do? We fight it or we run from it. We fight it or we flee from it. When we fight and flee from things, we're fighting and fleeing within ourselves, which doesn't give us the opportunity to learn and become masterful of ourselves. And if we don't learn from the lessons within ourselves and become masterful of ourselves, we don't garner the keys and the wisdom and the tools to create something new. If you're not learning the lesson from what it is, then you're going to just continue to repeat the lesson. So Kingdom Things Podcast, call to action, sit with yourself 30 minutes a day in order to come into greater alignment with the tools and skill and the mastery to co-create reality at a greater potency. Or come into alignment, come into activation of your God, Goddess essence. To the reptilians, I was in the bathroom brushing my teeth, right? To the right of me, in my mind's eye, I saw this. To my mind's eye, excuse me, give me 1 second. In my mind's eye, to the right of me, I witnessed a reptilian being. And it was like buff. It was kind of swole. It had little horns. It had horns, and it was like scaly. It was scaly, but it was more callous, like rough patches, like rough callous patches. And it had like dinosauric features in the face. And it was like sticking its tongue at me. It went just like that. I was like, whoa, Nelly. I didn't want to react. I didn't react. I just stayed in my heart center. And I was just waiting for a download. I was waiting for my ancestors to tell me what the hell was going on. So I was in my heart space. I was just waiting. And as I was waiting, I astral projected into lowlands. Got to call it the lowlands. I astral projected into the lowlands. And it was like rock caves, like rock rooms, caves, super dark. Let's say it's like a small town, but everything's made out of rocks and it's just like pitch black. It's dark as hell. I was there and I was like walking around a little bit, and then I got scared. So I was like, let me go back home. I'm going home. I got scared, so I was just like, no, I don't want to do that. And when I came back to, I was like, I don't want to. When I got out of the astral projection, I was like, I don't want to go there. I got the download that these beings, such as reptilians, present in our reality as per our projection of who they are. We have these energies, these lower vibrational energies, we call them karmic energies of jealousy, rage, envy, possessiveness, anger, which is adjacent to rage. We have these lower vibrational energies, darker energies, which aren't bad. They're here to teach us lessons, right? The light has its place just as the dark has its place. But there are energies that we have transcended as a human culture. We just have to get our hearts and minds, our minds really, in alignment with our hearts to understand that we've transcended these energies, to stop operating off of these energies, low consciousness energies, because we transcended them. It's just about getting our heart into alignment with our minds, into alignment with our hearts, in order to begin to create new creations in our reality and have our human culture reflect the new creations of our reality. So this reptilian buff being was standing next to me in my bathroom while I'm brushing my teeth. I can see it in my mind's eye. Sticks out his tongue. I astral project into the lowlands where it's dark and it's cavernous and like cave buildings and like it's just dark. I came back to, and I got the download that these beings don't have a name on them. These beings, just as if they're empty avatars, They are empty avatars. What gives them their characteristics, what gives them the qualities of fear, are the energies that we hold within. What gives them the qualities that seem like they're treacherous and they're monstrous are the energies that are us, right? They're energies within us in which we shame and blame and project into our reality, and we criticize the creations that spawn from the energies within us, that create things in our creation that we do not like, that we don't enjoy, that aren't in alignment with our integrity or our moral values. Those things that aren't in alignment with our integrity and our moral values, those things come from us. And we shame and blame and project. We project the creations external to us. And we shame and blame them instead of understanding and acknowledging, stepping into higher conscious awareness of self, higher consciousness of wisdom of creation, and acknowledging, oh shit, that thing is obviously a creation. It's something inside of me that created that, because as below, so above, principle of correspondence. Let me sit with myself, meditate for 30 minutes and ask myself, and meditate on this. Like, what please show me, whoever you feel comfortable calling, whether it's Jita, I always do that. Whether it's Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Vishnu, Abraham, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Mary Magdalene, God, the oneness of all things, whoever you feel comfortable calling, sit with yourself, meditate, and ask, like, what is this trying to show me about myself? What is this trying to show me about myself? This isn't my reality, so it's obviously something that I have inside of me. What is it that I need to recognize, acknowledge within myself in order to assist with transforming, transitioning out of my reality? Because this is not in alignment with who I want to be. This is not in alignment with who I am. So what can I do to shift the energy within inside of me in order to assist with shifting reality? As below, so above. The energies that we hold within, principle of correspondence. As below, so above. The energies that we hold within, projected to our reality to create the human culture, human ecosystem of planet Earth. The reptilians are a part of the human culture, human system, The reptilians are part of the ecosystem of planet Earth. They live in the lowlands and lower dimensional realities that are perceptible through extrasensory perception. And these reptilians don't have a name on them. They don't have a characteristic. We project our ideology, our understandings of who they are onto them. And our ideologies, our perceptions, our understandings are what? They're only energies that lie within us. They're only thought patterns that lie within us. Just as your relatives, you're like, ooh, I can't stand my aunt. Ooh, I can't stand my uncle. Ooh, like this person just triggers me. This person triggers me. They're only a dimension of yourself mirroring external to yourself to show you about yourself, to teach you about yourself. Because you perceive the world as you are. You don't perceive the world as it is. You perceive reality as you are. You do not perceive the reality as it is. You perceive reality as you are. You don't perceive reality as it is. I want to end this video with saying, everything is what it is. It's our perception of what is that changes. I want to thank you so much for joining this installment of Kingdom Things Podcast. Again, my name is Nicole Phillips. As a thank you for joining the Kingdom Things Podcast experience, I am able to offer you a 30-day trial to the Audible Premium Plus membership. Within Audible Premium Plus, there is a bevy of content, audiobooks, podcasts, in which you're able to read, view, experience in order to assist with up-leveling yourself into new dimensions of yourself. The Kingdom Things Podcast, Audible Premium Plus 30-day membership comes with one free credit. So with your one free credit, you're able to download any accessible title with your one free credit in order to enjoy that for the 30 days. After the 30 days, it is $15 a month for the Audible Premium Plus membership, which is really cool because I've seen titles like $42 that you're able to download with the one credit that only costs you $15. So it's really, really cool. I believe it's a great value, especially if you're into learning and experiencing different dimensions and aspects. You know, we like to travel to experience new things, but you can experience new things inside of yourself by meditating, sitting with yourself. You're able to learn more about creation or get downloads about who you are from your soul. You can also read within or listen to podcasts within the Audible Premium Plus catalog to learn more about yourself. Because again, as below, so above, anything you encounter in your reality is only a dimension, an aspect that lies within. Download the Kingdom, go ahead and click the link in the description of this video, the Kingdom Things Podcast Audible Premium Plus free trial. pull up your membership. Close your eyes. Pull up the catalog list first, the categories. Close your eyes. Whatever your finger lands on, select that. Whatever your finger lands on, select that category, and then scroll to the category and whatever calls to you, download that title. Even if it's something that you would not have experienced in the past or selected in the past consciously, just try it out to see where it takes you. You know, we're looking to expand ourselves, expand our reality. And this is a really cool tool to help us do that. So the Audible Premium Plus membership is available within the link of this Kingdom Things podcast installment, as well as Jasper. Jasper is an AI content copywriter. I channeled this before within the Kingdom Things podcast installment, Kingdom Things podcast meetup, where I channeled Apollonius of Tyana, Thought Me, which is Thoth's father, as well as the Arcturian Council of High Knowledge of Wisdom. In that podcast, I channeled that God, or the oneness of all things, God is, I'm going to say my perception, God is the oneness of all things, experiencing itself, right? God is an energy experiencing itself. God is everything experiencing itself. God is structuring it so that humans of planet Earth, are able to live lives that are authentic to themselves, create realities that are authentic to themselves. A lot of the times that will be creating your own business or using the talents and wisdom that you find within to teach or utilize within this reality to generate monetary income within your reality. Jasper, the AI content writer, can help you save on those blog posts and those social media posts by assisting you with developing eye-catching content for your socials, your blogs, and your websites. Jasper, the AI content writer, is available to investigate, look further into, to sign up for, to purchase within the link of this Kingdom Things podcast installment. Again, my name is Nicole Phillips. I'm super glad that you clicked on this video. Again, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you're on YouTube. Follow the channel if you're on Spotify. I am the biblically prophesied Messiah, but so are you, because as below, so above. As below, so above, we are all one. What I have in me, you have in you. What you have in you, I have in me. Not only do I channel the energies and messages for the oneness of all things, or the Most High White Light Creator energy, but I'm also a singer-songwriter, which I love dearly. My music, Ashley Nicole Music, you can find on YouTube, Ashley Nicole Music YouTube channel. There are a few Ashley Nicole Music YouTube channels, but you'll be able to see my face and you'll know, okay, that's Ashley from Kingdom Things Podcast. That's me, Ashley Nicole Music on YouTube. I'm also a home chef. I really enjoy cooking. That's another one of my passions that's in alignment with my soul. Like, I just love it. It's therapeutic for myself. My cooking channel, Magic Meals with Ashley Nicole Phillips, is also available on YouTube. My literature, I'm an author. My literature, I authored the story of Asia. Asia is a teenage girl growing up in the New York City foster care system, and she is catalyzed onto her spiritual awakening journey by the meeting of her twin flame in the hallway of her school, Manhattan Prep. She finds out she's a starseed. She gets kidnapped. She comes into different psychic abilities, extrasensory, multidimensional being abilities. Her story is beautiful. I really hope you enjoy it. Asia's story is a two-part story. Coming Home, the story of Asia, followed by the story of Asia, I'm Home, is available in the Amazon bookstore. You can find a link for both stories and all of my content within my link tree in the posting of this Kingdom Things podcast episode. I love you. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love, because you have to love yourself in the way in which you want your reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love, because the way you love on yourself is a way in which, the people in your life respects you and sees you and views you and relates with you and in the depth in which you relate to yourself. Self-love is the best love, because you are love in your truest truths. Give that love to yourself first. I think I said that first. And that's okay. Bye.